Howdy folks, welcome back to another video. It's been quite a bit of time since the last time I've uploaded, but I think that it's kind of becoming a trend where I talk about TMC drama, and honestly I think that this is the last time I'm going to kind of mention TMC, just because this is something that is disgusting, and I think that nobody can look at this and defend it, and that is doxing. For those who don't know, one of my more popular videos is when I talked about the last time that TMC doxed a person, or at least publicly doxed them, and that was one of my best friends, Hugo. And ever since that, he has not rejoined the community, and he's still effectively gone. I've never heard anything back from him, from DMs or comments or even emails or anything like that. And it's saddening that a company will dox people, specifically critics, who talk about negative experiences. But specifically, this one is kind of extremely just so weird. I don't know exactly how to put it into words, but let's just read what TMC says. Blank, that's a person's first and last name, by the way. Thanks for your creative writing exercise. We don't get many submissions quite this theatrical. Would you like a free gift sent to your home address? Obviously, it didn't say your home address. This is me literally saying in place of his actual home address. It's so strange why he thinks that doxing customers is going to make people want to buy his stuff. Anyways, so after he doxes, he labels his address. He continues on. As for our customer service, yes, we do respond quickly when publicly accused of dishonesty, incompetence, and doxing. In parentheses, seriously? What do you mean? Mr. Garrett, what do you mean? Seriously? Dude, you know what you just did. Not even 2 seconds before this, you have his literal dox. That is doxing. That is what doxing is. So I don't know exactly where he's coming from. I don't know exactly what he's doing, but this is a dox right here. And this is all happening in the a Discord that he's talking about. And he has changed his address, or excuse me, changed his reply to the doxing, the review, after people figured out about it. So here's this next one is it is unwise to lie, especially when the truth is so easily uncovered. People who loudly criticize others often expose more about themselves than anyone else, sometimes even revealing their own address in the process. What do you mean, address in the process? You did that. He didn't post his own address. You did that. Hello? Whether it's on blogs buried in comment sections or via long rants that stretch from grand logic to outright misinformation, the attempt to appear superior often backfires. Which is funny because TMC's tagline is superiority. Anyways, the Michigan mindset of honesty and accountability 48,837 times proven shouldn't be forgotten. And while some may prefer to remain anonymous, others, through a barrage of +1 complaints or 517-word essays, it's not really an essay. That's like a high school, maybe even a middle school assignment. Anyways, practically hand out their identities. In the end, whether it is a mass operation, a 282-degree overreaction, what? Or a 4,802 character email to the void, the truth always finds its way out. So next time someone feels the urge to rant at length, perhaps from behind a and this is his his name spelled backwards, style pseudonym, they should consider whether their criticisms reflect the target or the mirror. It's pretty obvious that Garrett's not smart enough to write something like this, so he just put like a prompt into Chat GPT saying, "Make me sound smart, but not actually sound smart." So that's basically what happened. TMC has doxed someone else for the second time now. Allegedly, whoa, we gotta do that because now he's threatening lawsuits. That's not a joke either. He is threatening lawsuits. Allegedly, there's allegedly this person is allegedly threatening lawsuits. But yeah, it's just very, very weird that he's going around and like threatening lawsuits. Also, he refers to himself as a bear, which for those who don't know is cringe. I'm not gonna insult him, but it's just, perhaps you should stop poking the bear. Last warning. You're getting on his nerves, kitten. It's basically just internet badass keyboard warrior talk. I'm such a badass. I'm so cool. That kind of stuff. But it's really upsetting that if you have concerns about this and you try and remedy it through normal methods of emailing, relieving a bad review, even if it's a scathing review, even if you put a few swear words in there, that's kind of weird that he would respond by doxing you. And the thing is, Garrett has also attempted to dox me as well. He has said in our DMs, he said my full name, so he tried to intimidate me by doing that, but I don't really care. None of those addresses that I used I live at anymore, so feel free, bro. I don't care. People who already know my name because I've done deals on PayPal and whatnot, so I'm not really upset if you try and dox me. Do your worst, I guess, whatever. But it's just kind of sad that that this is what the community revolves to. Or results to is we give one guy a monopoly effectively. Citizen Brick isn't doing anything anymore in terms of like World War II, and you don't really have very many companies out there that are doing like regular every week or every other week releases. The closest is probably going to be Angel Bricks. So what's the answer now? Well, obviously, you got to go to the other brands. We got to go to Parabellum Bricks. We got to go to Angel Bricks. We got to go Force Moon Bricks. There's a few others that I'm kind of blanking on the names of, but Valiant Bricks as well. That's one. We have to go to these people and vote with our wallets because TMC, they have a massive operation. They have 6-7 employees now, full-time employees. Garrett, he pays his mortgage off with this company. He pays his bills. He pays his insurance, all that stuff. So if he starts seeing that people aren't going to give him money, that's going to affect his bottom line because this is his full-time job. All these other companies, these guys are hobbyists. These guys are part-timers. They go to their 9 to 5, come home and play with Legos. That's what they do. And then they make a little bit of money off of it. And most of them make enough money to kind of justify it, but not enough money to justify doing it full time. So the only way that we can remedy this situation is to stop giving this guy money and start giving other people money, or just altogether just stop buying stuff. There's so many figs out there. Basically every single corner of the hobby has been touched except for like very specific niche examples. So like the only way that we can go forward without having this basically toxic asshole kind of having a chokehold on everything in the community is to kick him out by not buying anything from him. And eventually it'll take years. It probably it might even take till 2030 before something changes, but eventually if people stop giving him money, that's what's going to happen. He's probably going to change. Either that or he goes under, and oopsie doopsie, that's kind of your fault, buddy. But he's got all these new machines that he's coming out with, and those machines are expensive. They're $40,000, $50,000, $100,000 for a lot of these machines. These CNC machines, these injection molding machines, all these things are expensive. These pad printers, UV printers, none of this stuff's cheap. So, if he stops getting orders, what's he going to do? He's going to have to sell that, and he's going to have to downsize, or he might just have to quit all in all. So basically, to sum up this video, doxing is bad, and alleged doxing. Alleged doxing is bad. So, just be careful. Don't be a cringe lord. Don't be a Discord moderator. Sorry to the actual Discord moderators in the Lego community, but like, you know what I mean when I say that. But it's just vote with your wallet. And people who buy from this guy still clown on them, insult them, slap them in the face next time you see them at a Lego convention. Basically make these people realize that they're helping out this guy. Obviously don't ostracize him or anything, but like, we have to realize that unless there's a big social push to like getting rid of the monopoly on this community, people are going to have to do something, and that's the thing. So we need to democratize our wallets, I guess, if that's what it is. Decentralize it, allow for the free market. I don't know. We're getting into like economic, political stuff, but anyways, that's kind of all that I had to say. So yeah, vote with your wallet, guys. Have a good day. If you do decide to leave reviews, make sure to, not let it get tied back to you, because if someone allegedly doxes you once and they allegedly dox you again, what happens if they allegedly dox you a third time? That's just kind of obvious at that point. Patterns, tend to repeat themselves, I guess. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. I might get back to regular content, but I just kind of wanted to talk about this because it's very, very upsetting from someone who's personally dealt with this before. And I don't think anyone should fear for their safety, especially if you're a kid, because a lot of people in this community are kids. And having your address out there as a kid, that's dangerous, because who's out there. That's another huge thing that I want to draw attention to, is there are creeps out there. There are horrible people out there, and if they know that you're a kid and they know that where you live, that can be an issue. But anyways, I don't know. I think I'm just rambling at this point. I think I'm just yapping, so I'll stop it here, guys. More content in the future. I'll try and do like once a month or twice a month, but yeah. See you guys. Have a good one. Bye-bye.